Hello everyone, we have Qasim Bhatti today. He is a very successful freelancer in the field of data analyst and data science. And we are going to have an awesome conversation. He's going to provide a lot of tips on how to be a successful freelancer on Upwork. Now, before we start, let me share my screen really quickly and show his profile. So he's from Shahkot, Pakistan. The interesting thing is he started freelancing August 2020, just this year. Within 4 months, he has finished 19 jobs, 347 total hours with 95% success rate. His success rate is going to be 100% pretty soon because uh, when he started in the August, he was of course new. So that's the reason for this 5% lag. But you'll be surprised in 4 weeks, he's going to be the top rated Upwork freelancer. That is a rare achievement that Qasim has done. And you can look at all his projects. He's mainly into Power BI, analytics, different analytics project, BI projects. So overall data analyst, data science profile. And by the way, he's one of the subscribers of Codebasics channel. And one day we had some random conversation and I figured that he was learning this Power BI from our Sales Insight project series. And then something motivated him to start freelancing, and now he's just rocking. He is earning $25 per hour, but in terms of Pakistani rupees, it the his monthly earning is close to 2 lakh rupees. So you can imagine, like, in 4 months reaching to this level is indeed an achievement. And there are a lot of things that we can learn from Qasim today. So Qasim, thank you very much for spending time during your weekend.
Hello, Dhaval sir. Thank you so much for inviting me to your channel. First of all, I would like to thank you to the Code Basics channel completely. That I started learning from data analysis from your channel, thanks to you and your complete YouTube channel. So, first of all, I would like to say that to start freelancing wasn't a difficult thing for me because before starting my freelancing, I have searched a lot of things on YouTube, on Google, on different platforms, studied from blogs of different freelancers. So what you have to do, you need to believe that what are you reading, how people started from scratch and they are doing great day by day with the passage of time. So Sir Dawal just asked me and uh, ask me to help you guys if you need any queries. If there are some questions we are going to answer. The most questions will be about Upwork and data analysis. So this will be a good thing for me to answer all these questions.
Sure. So I think in the video description, we'll share your LinkedIn profile as well, Kasim, if you don't mind, so that people can connect with you and people can collaborate.
Okay,
So
okay. Yes, definitely
you
you can share that, but that's not updated.
okay?
That
No
no,
problem.
just for
We'll
connection.
update it and we'll share it after a few days when it's updated. So you did your BTech in computer when did you finish your BTech in computer engineering?
I completed my bachelor's from computer University of Engineering and Technology, Texla from Pakistan, and it was finished in August 16, 2019.
Mhm,
And right after my bachelor's, I went to the Huawei
mhm,
Technologies for my internship, and my internship was going to convert into a complete job, but I quit it. So due to my some other reasons, and I wasn't happy there, so I
mhm.
started to work myself. First of all, I started with my one of my seniors. His name was Seth. He just like I am going to tell you some tips. He told me some tips, and I learned a lot of things from that person.
From from your
Yes,
senior. Okay, okay.
yes.
And you created a Upwork profile when? When was the time when you created your Upwork profile?
Actually, I created in 2016, and I totally forgot that I have an Upwork
Oh, okay.
profile. So when I needed it wasn't approved by Upwork.
Mm,
So it was approved on 27th of July 2020, and
mm.
I started to work on right at the end of July, maybe 29th July or 1st of August.
I see. So again, friends, today is it's November 21. He started in August, which is just 4 months back. So just look at the phenomenal success that Qasim has achieved. 4 months. He's gonna be in 2 weeks, he's gonna be top rated Upwork freelancer. He has completed 19 jobs, earning more than 2 lakh rupees per month. So when you see people tell that Upwork is too much crowded, too much competition. People say, okay, if we register a profile today, we'll not have a success. So what are your thoughts on that? How can you become, because you have lived that story, right? You have achieved
Yeah.
success when there is too much competition.
Actually, when you compare Upwork to other platforms like freelancers or Fiverr, Upwork has pretty much the potential right now. Whenever I started my data analyst career on Upwork, I started to apply on different jobs, and there were most of the almost 15. On average, there were 15 proposals on each and every job. So if you apply on night time, there were only 5 proposals. So what I did, how I become one of the good freelancers. I just try to get some work in the night when most of the freelancers are getting some rest.
I see.
This is the main reason how a beginner can become a influencer on Upwork.
I see. So when there is no competition during the night time, you apply, and
Yes,
then if the client is available, then they will see your
yes,
message and then you get
yes,
connected, right?
yeah, and it's the way how you apply. Like most of the people use bots for the applications for the proposals. You don't need to use that bot, you don't need to buy those bots. So what you need to do, you need, or another thing, don't use copy paste proposals. Like most of the people write proposals all the time and they just copy paste to get the number one to in the application. You don't need to be that one. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to write the proposal and get some keywords from the project details given by the employer. Get those keywords, write it down on your proposal, and at the end of proposal you should mention why you are the best, why the employer should contact you. This is the main thing. Let's suppose if a project client asks something at a very beginner level, you should ask a question or maybe two questions to the employee to convince
Counter
him.
question.
Yes, to convince him that you know something better than the project details, you know
Oh,
something in advanced. So these questions all in your proposal, question marks are always welcome, and it is a prominent thing in your proposal. Most of the people doesn't do this thing.
I see. So it shows that you are doing critical thinking already on that project. And
Yes,
if you
that
ask smart questions, it will already leave a positive impression on that person. Say, okay, this freelancer is smart because he's asking smart question, you know?
smart question, definitely. And always write short proposals. You don't need to write lengthy proposals. Okay.
Hmm.
So if you are writing short proposal, it is easy for for the employee to read and to get back to you.
I see. So tell me the story about your first project that you got. Was there like too many bids on that first project, and how did you achieve it? And even like how do you even decide your rate?
Okay. So actually, to decide rate is not something on to you. So what in Upwork, in any platform, when you go and create your profile, you are very beginner. No one is going to trust you. So what you need in the first, you need reviews. Okay, like I'm the beginner, I don't have reviews. I can't say anyone that I need $10 or $15, maybe
Hmm.
$40 per hour for this project. So no one is gonna trust me. And what you should try with the
Hmm.
minimum wages for that project. So on Upwork, the minimum per hour wage is $3 per hour. So I started from $3 per hour.
Hmm.
So there is another technique. When you apply for $3 per hour, someone replies to you. Most of the people reply at that time.
Hmm.
When someone replies to you, you can convince him in the chat that this is something very extraordinary. You
Hmm.
the work is not that much simple. So in the chat you can also convince to raise your wages to $5, maybe $6 per hours, or maybe seven. It's up to you.
I see.
So there are different techniques. uh,
I see. Okay. So when you, so yeah, what was your first project?
Okay, sorry, I couldn't answer. I forgot. The first project I completed was the that Atlic hardware Power BI project. That complete series I learned from you. So what I did with this project, I completed. Everyone just listen this thing very carefully. I started my first project with Sir Dawal's YouTube channel. I completed this series and made same project as Sir did. So and I uploaded it as a portfolio by his
Okay.
permission, and I showed people that I know something about Power BI and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So when there was something in my portfolio, I get some other data from online like Data Quest or other websites, and did same thing as I did in that Power BI series of code basics. So in this way, there were 3 to 4 projects in my portfolio. Portfolio is very important when someone comes to your profile page, so then you need to show something. So once my portfolio was set up, it wasn't difficult for me to get the first project. My first project was same on Power BI, and it was the same project as I did with the code basics YouTube channel. So it was almost 99% the same project. I need to find some
Wow.
KPIs. So it
That's
was my
amazing. I
first.
did not know. Very, very good.
It was
I'm glad
almost the
it's,
same.
yeah, yeah,
So
I'm glad. Yeah, it
the on
helped.
the only difference was there wasn't a SQL data source. There
Okay.
were only Excel data source.
Okay. And that kind of makes it even easier, you know. Excel, you
Yes,
pull it Power BI and just you just do the
that's
work.
definitely it was very easy for me, and I was
Nice.
thanking for for every minute to Sadawal's YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. And if you don't mind sharing, how much you earned in your first project?
In first project, I earned $50 per $50 for the
$50.
complete project. Complete project.
And how much time did it take for you?
Yeah, it was the first project and almost 4 hours.
Four
The
hours.
reason behind it took 4 hours because I was chatting and questioning lots of things to the
I
employee
see.
that to confirm either my direction is right or wrong.
That is very good thing. Like when you're working on
Yes,
this project, technical implementation is one thing, but client communication, getting
it's
clarification on requirement is actually more important.
yes,
Because if you without understanding, if you do implementation, that time is wasted. So that's the thing about Upwork is the client communication is most important, and then comes technical skills. Now,
definitely.
I always say that if you start working in some company, you know, then you only develop technical skills because someone is spoon feeding. But as a freelancer, you almost become an entrepreneur. So you know how to manage client communication, finances, everything. You are your own business. So you
Yes,
do a lot of holistic development overall. So
definitely.
I'm glad that you finished your first project 4 hours on $50. I know it's not a very huge amount, but in terms of success, you must have felt great, right? Like when you had that $50 coming into your account, what is the feeling?
Actually, I was feeling like it is my first project, and it was unbelievable for me because I have never done any single project that was paid
Yeah,
to me. I
yeah,
was
yeah.
doing
Paid to you,
everything
yeah.
myself.
I remember, Kasim, like when I started getting some money in YouTube, I like my job. I'm earning much more than what I earn in YouTube, right? But it was a small amount, maybe $30 a month. And it just makes you so happy. You want to share with the world. I told my
Yes,
wife, like, look, I earned $30.
yes,
Right? It gives a different
it's
feeling.
it's it's very good feelings.
Yeah, so if you guys want to learn Power BI, so the series which Kasim mentioned, I'm going to provide a link in the video description below. So you can also learn this series and you can use a different data set maybe and create your own dashboard, you know, and that can help you in cracking job interview or in even, you know, help with freelancing as well.
Here I would like to add something
Mhm.
that you guys don't need to learn every data visualization tool. If you are
Mm,
good with Power BI, that's enough. If you are good with Tableau, that's good. So
mm.
you try one and go with the advanced level. So it will
Okay.
be much better than learning all with the basics. So this
Okay.
is something that was very important to me. And on the other hand, you mentioned that Upwork is good because it is providing communications plus the technical skills both. as compared to
Mm,
working in any company. So when you are
mm,
working on any when you are working in any freelancer platform, especially on Upwork, every individual on Upwork or every employee, that's a complete company.
mm,
90% plus are complete companies. So either the company's manager is talking to you, or maybe the company's CEO is talking to you. So
mm.
in this way, in future, you can create your own Upwork agency or maybe any your own company by getting different projects. You are because you have some idea and some knowledge how to talk to different CEOs, managers. You will be good in either deciding how much trades. So
Exactly.
it will help you in every way.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. I mean, we are just talking Kasim right on the phone the other day because Kasim is getting a lot of work and he's not having time. I told him that maybe he should have his friends, like few of his friends, and maybe you can start your own company, and become like a big CEO of a company. So and Kasim, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. Like the rate at which you are going and you're making progress, I have my best wishes. I think you will be doing a big things in the life.
Yeah,
Uh,
inshallah.
so how do you manage client communication overall, and how do you do like frequent calls? So just talk about how do you make sure your client is happy.
First of all, whenever I applied to any job, I mentioned one thing in my proposal that I will give you the results after every 2 hours.
Hmm.
So client becomes very happy by reading this thing that it is going to update me after every 2 hours. So
And
what
by
I
every
do,
2 hours, what you mean is so that our viewers understand. Let's say it's a 10-hour project, right?
yes,
So
yeah,
that's what you mean. Like, so 10-hour project, 2 hour will be basically 20% work done. So it's not like right now it's 8 o'clock, you are calling at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It's not like that, right?
no, no,
Every 20%, 40%. So
yes.
you decide basically milestone.
Yes, definitely. So by 2 hours, no one asks you to provide me after 2 hours update every time. So
Yeah.
because they are not very free or they don't have
Mhm.
this much time. So what does this mean? I send initial draft after 2 hours or maybe 3 hours sometimes. So whenever I send initial draft to my clients, they approve that either you are going to right direction or wrong direction. So whenever you send your first draft, what you
Mhm.
need to learn from the project is if your client becomes aggressive that what have you done, what are you doing, then
Mhm.
don't work with that person. So
Mhm.
if it's a happy, then accept
Huh.
your project on Upwork. Otherwise
I see.
you don't need, if you accept this project
Uh,
and the client is not happy, there are some good clients, some bad clients everywhere on every platform.
Right, right, right.
So if the client isn't happy, try to convince him, try to make him happy by doing some good work. But if you know he or she is not going to happy anyway, so don't work with that
Don't
one.
work because
Uh,
the point is important, Kasim, because if they screw up your rating, if they give
yes,
you 1% rating, then it's so bad. Everything
yes,
works on a rating, right?
yes. Everything works on rating. They're going to ruin your profile.
Mm.
Doesn't matter how many years or how many months you are going to work. So
Okay.
your rates become lower, and your rating becomes lower, and whenever someone searches for data analyst, definitely you will be maybe on the bottom.
I see. And now, so see, you are a data analyst, data scientist, freelancer. How much coding is needed? Like, if person knows just Power BI or Tableau, let's say, and very little scripting. I know Power BI and Tableau also has some scripting, but let's say you
Yes,
don't know Python too much. Can you still do freelancing, or you have to absolutely know the coding?
yes, definitely you don't need to learn about Python at all if you are working as a data analyst with Power BI only, because some companies there are different roles for each company for
Mm,
data analyst. Like first company is working with the data analyst using Python script, and second one is using data source as a Excel, and other using is MongoDB.
mm,
So it depends which tools the company is already using. This is something that matters. So if you want to work as a data analyst, you don't need to learn all the coding. You just need to learn logic, and that is only 5% of the data analyst. In Power BI we use DAX language and mQuery.
Mm.
So Dax language doesn't need that much code, like hundreds or maybe 50 of lines. So there are only two or three lines for merging of two columns, or maybe if else conditions. So this is some very basic coding that everyone knows
Got it.
comes who comes here to learn data analysis. So
Perfect.
coding isn't that much important.
And I think you once mentioned that, let's say you are building a project which is on a Tableau. Now you don't know the Tableau. Do you still
Yes.
build that project, or you think, oh no, I need to learn things first and then I can build it?
Okay. First of all, I would like to say something that in the start, when I started to work on Upwork, most of the projects I don't know how to execute this project. I don't know the tools they are using. So one good thing is that I asked the client that give me some more time. I requested more time and started to learn that project
Hmm.
with that tool. So this thing is very important as for a freelancer, that if you don't know any tool completely, you can request freelancer you can request your employee to give you some more time, and then you can do that project in that time
I
span.
see. But still, you are like being confident and you're not like, okay, I
Yes,
don't know
yes,
Tableau, I won't build the
def-
project, right? So I like
yes,
that attitude that even if you don't know, you know that you can learn these things. You have
yes,
that confidence. So you are
definitely,
building that project. And by building that project, not only you are learning the skill,
yes,
but you are earning money now that project comes to your portfolio. So far you have
yes,
done Power BI projects. Tomorrow, if Tableau
definitely.
project comes in, I think you will build it. And then
Okay,
Tableau comes to your portfolio becomes bigger and bigger, and then you can attract more diverse work.
definitely. You can say that in my first scrapping project, I scrapped on only almost 120 million of data records. I prepared a script. It was data scrapping of different company files. So I have never done the scrapping before. But whenever I get this project, I started to learn scrapping from very basic level.
Mm.
So at the end,
Wow.
I was
120 million records you
yes,
scrapped.
definitely.
Wow.
I prepared the script, and the employer told me that you don't need to execute because if on my laptop it was taking 53 years to scrap that data.
53 years.
Yes, definitely 120 million records, because in each record there are almost 20 plus columns having phone numbers, founding years,
Oh
managers,
my God.
CEOs. There was so much data. So the employee got multi-agent server. So he was something using very fast and very accurate.
I see. So if let's say you have $100 project, so do you get that $100 or does Upwork take some commission?
Yes, Upwork takes 20% of the commission up till 500 US dollars project. So
Okay.
if you're working with your old client, then it's very good for you, because when you go up to the 500, then it becomes 10%.
Oh, I see. So if you it is 600, let's say, then only $60 will be taken. But if it is
No,
500,
no, no. If it's 600, then up to 500 it will be
oh, got it.
20%. Then above 500
Then
will be 10%.
I see. So remaining, so it will
Yes,
be
yes,
20% on 500 will be like $100, and then remaining is like $10. So on
yes,
600 you are paying $110. Got it, got it. So when you so I know you're very successful, but talk about the difficulties that anyone faces. So let's say the people who are watching, they start on Upwork. Like, what are
yes.
the common difficulties that they face, and how do you overcome those?
Actually, in the start, the most difficult thing was to spend some money, because
Uh,
you need to buy some connects and you don't know either you will get some work or not. You just
okay.
need to believe yourself, and you need to do some consistent work, a proper homework before, because every connect cost 25 rupees in Pakistani rupees. So you get only $0.15 per connect. So and it takes almost six or four connects to apply for any job on Upwork. Some jobs takes two only.
I
So
see. And I think
and
patience is very important, right? Because
very
sometimes people start and let's say six
and they
months you
quit.
don't get any project.
Yes, definitely. Wait a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So patience, we are talking about patience, right? Patience, I think,
Yes,
is very important, because initially for 6 months, let's say you don't get
I
it,
know.
you shouldn't lose the hope.
I know my friend. He started to work on Upwork in 2017, and he quit because he wasn't getting enough work to feed his family. So he quit. Now he's working some other work or job maybe. But
Oh, I see.
I know the reason why he quit, because he was not getting enough work. So if you are
Got it.
not, this thing happened to me as well. In the start, I was getting most of the work in night, and there were some days like 3 to 4 days I wasn't getting even any response from the client, and I was very uh,
Hmm.
I was very
Disappointed,
like
right? Like you get like,
disappointed, like, and like I think what happened to my profile, and I think the first one I got, that was only my luck or maybe so such kinds of thing comes to your mind.
I see. Have you done, so you are a freelancer, data analyst, data scientist. Have you done any courses or any degree in data analyst or data science?
No, no. Actually, I am a computer engineering, and if you look on my
Prof-
courses, it were mostly for hardware side and a little bit about softwares.
I
So
see.
you can say 60% were on hardware like Arduino and ICs, and 40% was on softwares.
I see. So
But
for the viewers who are watching, many times, because Kasim, people ask me question that, okay, we need to get a degree certificate. But look at Kasim, he's a bachelor in computer science. Majority of his course was in hardware. And now he learns so how did you learn Power BI? From the YouTube only, right?
yes, only from YouTube. It wasn't difficult for me, and what I'm doing right now. I started from YouTube. There were I many times I started to work to learn from Coursera or Udemy, but they were very slow, and you were not getting everything from any single course. You need to
Hmm.
do almost 2 to 3 projects for every different part of the tool. So on YouTube. Uh, this is the only thing I have used.
I see. So yeah, so people who are listening, if you have a willpower and if you have a desire to do something great, you can learn things on your own on YouTube for free, and
Yes.
you can achieve the kind of success that Kasim has achieved. So now I'm just going through a list of questions. So people also argue that you need to have a lot of experience in order to start freelancing. Of course, that is not true, right? You
No,
when
that is
you just
not true.
started in August and you
Yes.
do not have any experience, and you still.
I started to work on Upwork as a freelancer in 2020 August. And the most incredible thing was that I learned Power BI 1 month ago from the start. So you
Okay,
can say that there was no experience needed. The only thing you need is your passion, that how
uh,
much you are consistent. Like
uh,
if you work for 1 day and you take rest for 2 days, then this is something not going to work.
I see. So any other advice you have for the people who wants to start freelancing but they are reluctant?
Actually, most of the freelancers, they fear, like in my back in my university time, one of my roommates, he was very good freelancer, he was doing great, but
Mm.
I was very feared that I can't do this thing. So what, in my mind, I started to hate that this is something not for me. So now after 3 to 4 years, when I am done with everything from the university, and I get a good chance, and I started to work on first for the in 2019, when I learned from my senior. He taught me things of for freelancer, but I implemented these things on Upwork as well, and it is working very well. So for the viewers, my only advice is, please don't quit. You
Okay.
guys only need to believe whatever you read on your in the different blogs. Like if in the blogs, some people say that you need to apply in these projects the way they tell you, you need to believe that one.
Mm.
I'm very good web surfer. I
Mm.
study lots of things about different platforms, and I believed. So
I
that
see.
is something that helped me a lot. Because
That's a
if
very,
you are
very good point. Like
yes,
having self-belief is, I think, the most important thing
most
in order to
important thing.
become successful. Yep.
Yes, definitely. And another advice for the data analyst, that start from very basic. Don't go high without learning the first tool. Don't go for the second one. So
Okay.
I'm working with only Power BI, and I have worked with Korean companies, with Greeks companies, and right now working with USA, US based company. So this is only from Power BI, and started from Power BI. I went to Azure Clouding, go with Azure IoT Edge, Azure IoT Hub. So all these things were just told to me by my company owners, by my employers. So I started to learn these things gradually. So this is how a freelancer works. So don't
Okay.
quit and learn one thing completely.
Okay, so you started basically, so your step-by-step journey, just to summarize. So he learned Power BI from YouTube. He looked at my uh, sales insight at like hardware series. Then you
Yes,
got a first project of Power BI, which was very similar, 90% similar. So you got
yes,
success with that. And now you have a good rating on Upwork. So you get second project, third project, and most of the projects are on Power BI. So now you are kind of almost becoming a Power BI expert because you are doing like a
yes,
real projects. So
yes, and
Qasim did not do any certificate, nothing, computer engineer.
yes,
He just learned
and
as you go.
and right now, what in Power BI, I am sure I can do everything. Maybe it is on Google Map, maybe it is on Bing Map. So now, what is the most awaiting thing for me? I'm waiting for December 2020 update from Power BI. Power BI gives you updates on every month. So this is something I want to tell you, that there is no old document that I need now.
Mm,
I'm working on updates. If a new update comes, I just need to change some few things in my previous project, and that's all.
I see. So you are kind of almost getting in sync with the
Yes,
development that they are doing. So you already know.
yes,
So when someone was asking me on Upwork, are there enough data analyst and data science projects? Do you see a lot of data
yes,
science, data
yes,
analyst
yes,
projects on
yes,
Upwork?
yes. Yes, I started to work on Upwork, and then one day I thought that why not to other platforms. I went to Freelancer and Fiverr as well. I made some IDs, and but there wasn't enough work. But on Upwork, there are complete companies you are dealing with. So the data analyst jobs is something that only works for big companies, not for small companies, or maybe 3 or 4% companies. You know very well, data science projects are very costly projects, and on
Yeah,
Upwork there are companies. So that's why you will get more work on Upwork. Even if you go to the find work option in Upwork, you will see there are almost 10 projects in maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
I see. And gradually, I think in terms of we are talking about rate. So you started working as a $3 an hour rate.
$3.
Now you're
Yes,
working at $25 an hour. So as your
yes,
work grows, as your reputation improves, I know some people charge $200 an hour, like
yes,
$400, right? Data science,
yes,
especially the
yes,
niche, the difficult work, they charge a
yes.
lot of money.
I know an Indian girl name. Her name is Asna, and she's taking $175 per hour.
$175 an hour.
Dollars
Wow.
per hour.
That's
And,
huge. So
and
yeah.
the good thing is, if you go in the start, I started to work with complete projects, maybe project based budget,
Mhm.
and then after doing some good work, the employers started to trust on you, and they ask you again and again for some more work, and then they say you work for us for per hour project. So in per hour project, the good thing is that you will be paid either the work is done or not. So this is
Yeah, yeah,
even if
yeah, yeah. Hmm,
even if you are communicating with your employer, they are paying you, you are getting some money.
I see. So, when you are looking at all this project, the most of the projects that you have done, so it will be either so building a dashboard in the Power BI, doing
Yes,
web scraping on some records, right? Like,
yes.
what are the type of projects for our viewers? Just say, like, what are the type of projects you get? Like, what is the
Okay.
actual work?
Actually, when I told you that you need to learn only one complete tool, so in the project description, if client mentioned that he or she needs Power BI work, so you need to know everything about Power BI when you are expert. So
Mm.
then you apply, and you know that whatever she or he is going to tell you, you know everything about Power BI. So what I in the start, I started to make some reports, some dashboard on Power BI. I did some web scraping, but
Mm.
when I got some more skills, I started to work on row level security, embedded dashboards, like you are embedding dashboard into the different websites. I have designed some courses for the students.
Mm.
These were paid courses. So I was told by the employer that he needs some course for the Power BI. I made some dashboards, some exercises. So these kinds of projects I have done.
Perfect. All right, Kasim, thank you very much for your time. This conversation was super useful. I also learned a lot of things from this conversation because I have not done freelancing on Upwork, of course. So I
Mhm.
learned a lot of things from you, and other viewers have also learned a lot of things from you. I think we should continue this conversation, maybe have another round in the future as well.
I know one thing, this is famous in our country, that the teacher may not be the king, but he is the kingmaker.
Yeah.
So if you have not done freelancing, that but whatever I am doing, I just started from you, and I told you once that I was almost quit. I was almost on the edge of the quit to freelancing or maybe the data scientist field. I was going for any other job, maybe 25,000 job.
Okay.
So, but
And
it
see,
was
the
good.
thing with freelancing is you are your own boss. You don't have to travel. You work from home,
No,
first of all.
yes,
So much
from home.
flexibility, right? Like, what are the, so let's cover that. So, what are the pros and cons? Let's say you're working in a big company, let's say Huawei, earning 2 lakh rupees per month versus you are doing freelancing, 2 lakh rupees per month, sitting at home. So, what are the good aspects of freelancing?
So the good thing about freelancing is, if I am earning 2 lakhs per month, I'm not working 8 hours a day,
Hmm.
and the second one, I'm not doing consistent 8 hours,
Hmm.
and maybe I am doing 3 hours or 4 hours. Maybe I'm not working for 2 days because I was on a wedding ceremony. So
Hmm.
these kinds of things, you get a lot of time for your friends and family. But
I see.
I got some permanent job on Upwork as well, but I refused. The reason was it was paying a lot,
Hmm.
but if there is work, or either there is work or not, you need to sit on your table, your tracker is on, the camera is looking at you, you have to work.
Ah, so that is not good, right? Like
That
even I like that. Like, so let's say you work for 2 hours in the morning, 8 to 10. After that, 10 to 12, you want to go out and play cricket. As a freelancer, you can do that. But if
yes,
you're working in corporate, your time is controlled by
yes,
the employer.
by the employee, definitely. And I wake up whenever I'm
Mm.
just I feel that it's easy for me, and I can wake up easily now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
You have to full control of your time.
yes, everything is fine.
Yeah.
So that
and
was
and I think
all
the
from me.
other thing about freelancing is, which we mentioned, is you learn a lot of entrepreneur skills which you don't learn when you are in corporate company, right?
Yes,
Like
yes,
client communication, soft skills. It's
yes.
like you are your own company, so all
Because
those soft skills.
because whenever you are a company, most of the time you don't get a complete project. This is the
Hmm.
main thing. You get some part of the project,
Part
and
of, yeah.
and then they don't tell you why they are doing this, and what is the start line, what is the finish line. The same person, your manager, gives you some work, and they do this thing all the time. So on the other hand, freelancing is something too much better. You know,
Got.
from the start to end. I forgot to tell you one thing. In the US elections, you can see there is some live dashboard.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're showing map and all that
Yes.
thing. So we are working on same kind of thing. So for the maybe the next time elections, in Power BI we can do the same thing.
Wow, that's
So
really good to know.
that is
So
very
maybe
good.
next US election, the dashboard might be built by you. Who knows, right?
Yeah, yes, it may be, but it depends to whom I work with.
mm,
And the thing I was trying to tell you, uh, if I was working in a company, I never knew that my product, my work is going to use in such a big place. In such
mm.
a, it was
The
you don't
impact
know.
that you're creating
Yes,
on
that
the
I know.
world.
I can't know the impact what I'm doing right now. But
Yeah.
if you working on a freelancer, the employer tells you why he
Mm,
needs this thing and
mm,
what will be the deliverable.
mm,
So this is something very important. And even sometimes working as a freelancer, I get so many ideas in my mind to launch my own product maybe.
mm.
But
Yeah, that is also true.
if you're working in a company, you don't know, you don't take risks, because if you take risks,
Yeah,
and the risk need more time, and maybe you need to leave your job, these
exactly.
kinds
So
of things.
you become risk taker, you develop entrepreneur skills. I think confidence also, right? Like
Yes,
when you know, okay, I can earn like say 2 lakh, 5 lakh rupees per month and I don't need any employer,
yes,
it builds so much confidence in you. It makes
so
you a
much
different
confidence.
person. Yeah.
Definitely.
Great, Kasim. I am so happy for your success. I really wish you grow to a very high level, and we'll continue this conversation. Maybe we'll have next conversation as well. And also, once we talked about producing a Tableau series as well. So
Okay.
maybe I'm planning to produce a series similar to the Power BI sales insight series that we did. We are going to do similar series with Tableau as well, and I will be collaborating with Kasim. Kasim is working in an industry now. He's a pro now. He's like a top rated freelancer, and you will get a lot of insights from that project series. So it will come up soon. So please stay tuned on that. Kasim, thank you very much for your
Thank
time,
you
and
very
I'm
much.
going to stop our recording now. Okay.
Thank you so much.